In last session, it is about LKAS 16 accounting for property, plant and equipment. So we have to get some thing further. So that's why I am here today also. So what we discussed last session, scope and definition and components of property, plant and equipment. Then we move to the recognition and measurements criteria. Then I think up to that point we have discussed depreciation and depreciation methods also we discussed, but we didn't do any exercises. So we have to do today that depreciation and depreciation method, disposal, impairment and disclosures. So we will move to that slides. I think you can remember those things. So LKS does not apply for different kind of assets, non-current assets held for sale, biological assets, then exploration and evaluation assets likewise. Then we discuss about the elements of property, plant and equipment. Those are the tangible items, and it should be held for production, supply, rental or administration purpose, and should be a more than 1 year time period. Then cost of this PPE, we discuss about that. The cost of the amount of cash or cash equivalent paid to acquire an asset at the time of its acquisition or construction. So there are many special terms that you need to know. Residual value, depreciable amount, depreciation, useful life, carrying amount, impairment loss, recoverable amount, fair value. Those one by one we have discussed, and I explained to you the meaning and how we use them. Then when we are calculating useful time, we have to consider some factors: expected usage of assets, expected physical wear and tear, technical obsolescence, legal limits. Then especially I told you land usually has infinite useful lifetime, so we do not usually depreciate the land. Then when we are recognizing assets, PPE as an asset, so there are two important things that should be if and only if it is probable that future economic benefit associated with the assets will flow to the entity. So there should be a future benefits. Other thing is the cost of item can be measured reliability. If we cannot measure the cost, we can't get it as a PPE. So those are the essential requirements in the recognition of the PPE. Then we discuss about initial cost and subsequent cost. Initial cost we capitalize, but subsequent cost all we cannot capitalize, so we cannot record under the revenue cost. We have to identify whether those are in a certain conditions. After considering that, we can categorize them either capital or revenue cost. Then we discuss about the elements of cost. Uh, Under the elements, at that time, when we are getting the cost, we have to get the purchase price, import duties, non-refundable purchase taxes. Then we have to deduct trade discount and rebates, concessions. Uh, so any cost directly attributed to bring the assets to the location and condition necessary for it to be capable of operating in the manner intended by management. So at that time, if we use direct labor cost, we also need to include them here. So even dismantling or removing items, we have to add to the initial estimate cost if we know that. So direct attribute cost include employee benefits, site preparation, delivery and handling, installation assemble cost, cost of testing. So if there is any profit, we have to any income, we have to reduce that amount, professional fees. But these are not included into cost of PPE, opening a new facility, introduce new product, conducting new location, business location, administration and other overheads. So here we have to think about whether this cost is recurring cost or not. If it is recurring, every day or every month, every week we have to spend that amount, we cannot capitalize them. We cannot include them in the cost. But if it is not such a cost, we have to include it into the cost. Then cost model, property, plant and equipment is carried at cost less accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment losses. So revaluation methods. So we include our PPE under the revaluation amounts. Fair value as at date of revaluation less subsequent accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment losses. So we did some calculations. I also like to go there because I include a new example. Yeah, here. So this is the exercise. Try to do it, then I will explain to you how to do the calculation. After doing your calculation, you can enter your answer into the chat box. I'll give you 10 minutes time. Okay, start now. So total value is 18 lakhs. Scrap value is 200,000, 2 lakhs. So depreciable amount is 16 lakhs. Lifetime 5 years. Then per year we have to depreciate 320,000. So as we depreciated 2 years, then 640,000 as a depreciation. But after 2 years' time, what happened? The company management announced they have increased the scrap value and number of lifetime. So we have to adjust for that. Then we have to deduct from the cost 300,000 as well as what we got from the here 1 0 is yeah, I need to add something, I think 640,000 rupees, and we have to divide it from the new lifetime. So last time it was 5 years, already we depreciated 2 years, then we have to, now they say further it is increased by 3 years. So then after now we have 6 years altogether. The depreciation amount for the that year is 143,333. Only one of you got that answer. Uh, anyway, this is answer. You take down your notes. How we calculated it. Here there should be a not 64,000. 0 should at the end of this. I will add it. Now it's okay. You take note. Then after that we can move to next slide. Proper understanding about what how we calculate this the calculations. So I would like to go. So before that we have to go there again. Our revaluation method. Up to that we discuss. Then we discuss these two as well because I told there are we can treat it one of way after uh, revaluating the property, plant and equipment. First one is gross carrying amount is adjusted in manner that is consistent with the revaluation of carrying amount. Second one, accumulated depreciation is eliminated against the gross carrying amount of the assets. The final results of these two methods are similar, but adjustments only differ. Then after doing that adjustment, how to sometimes the revaluation, there may be a revaluation profit, sometimes there may be a revaluation loss. At that time, how to enter our accounts. So recognize if there is a revaluation profit, we have to recognize the other comprehensive income and accumulated in equity under revaluation surplus. Increase organized in profit and loss to extend in reverses revaluation decrease of same assets previously recognized in a profit. If it is decrease, we have to recognize them as a loss. So depreciation, we know depreciation is the systematic allocation of depreciable amount of an asset over its useful life. Each part of uh, item of PPE with a cost that differs significantly in relation to the total cost of the item shall be depreciated separately. Depreciation charge is recognized in profit and loss unless it's included in the carrying amount of another asset. Residual value, depreciation method, useful life to be reviewed at least at each financial year end. If expectation differ from previous estimate, changes to be accounted for the changes in accounting estimate under LKAS 8, accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates and errors. මොනවද මෙතන කියන්නේ? ක්ෂය වීම කියන්නේ ක්‍රමානුකූලව යම් වටකමක ජීවිත කාලය බෙදා හරින ක්‍රමවේදයක්. එතකොට මේ ක්ෂය වීම යන්ත්‍ර උපකරණ දේපල පිළියෙත හා උපකරණ වෙන වෙනම අපි බලන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට මේ ලැබෙන ලාභය අලාභය අපි එක දේපල පිළියෙත උපකරණ ක්ෂය වීම වලට අදාළ පරිදි ආදායම් වියදම් විදිහට ගලප ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේම කියනවා සුන්බුන් අගය, ක්ෂය ක්‍රමය, ජීවිත කාලය හැම දෙයක්ම හැම මූල්‍ය වර්ෂයක් අවසානයේදීම නැවත විමර්ශනය කරන්න ඕනේ. මොනවා හරි වෙනස් වීම තියෙනවා නම් LKS 8ට අනුව වාර්තා කළ යුතුයි කියලායි කියන්නේ. So depreciation method used shall reflect the pattern in the assets future economic benefits are expected to be consumed by the entity. එතකොට මේ ක්ෂය ක්‍රමය තුල අනාගතයේදී ආර්ථික ප්‍රතිලාභ ලැබෙන විදිහට මේ ක්ෂය ක්‍රමය තෝරගන්න ඕනේ. Depreciation method applied to an asset shall be reviewed at least financial year. We already discussed that. Straight line method, depreciation expenses we calculate cost minus residual value divided by useful life. And then cost of assets, we know how to calculate it. Purchasing price plus transportation, installation, and we have to deduct discount and concessions. The reducing method, what we get, cost minus accumulated depreciation, we multiply by rate of depreciation. But there is another method of calculating cost. Depreciation, it is number of unit based on number of unit production. So when we are going to there, we have to get there is a formula to calculate if we have a number of units, use the number of units for the uh, calculating the depreciation. How we got it? We get the cost as earlier. We we reduce the residual value, then we divide the total unit of production and multiply by uh, actual production, no production in the year. Yeah, this is the, if we use the number of units to calculate the depreciation, at that time we have to get this formula to calculate the depreciation. Cost, we reduce residual value, divide by the total unit of production per year, then multiply by the production in the year. At that time, we can take the depreciation for the year. So we can again move to the exercises. Yeah, this is the first, you have to do this one. Then I will give you 5 minutes time. It is easy question. So you can do the calculation and enter the chat box your answer. Straight line method, cost minus residual value divided by lifetime of the asset. Here the values are 500,000 for each year because it is same for every year. Okay, thank you for your answers. So this is reducing balancing method. So you can do the calculation as well. Those are the reminding your memories. So because in your, you already have done this not in A levels, you have done it in O levels as well. So do the calculations and enter your answers. Now stop to enter answers for previous one. Do this exercise. Okay, we will see the answers. So depreciation for the first year, it is no accumulated depreciation to reduce. So we get the cost and multiply by depreciation rate. In a second year, we have to uh, reduce depreciation, accumulated depreciation 300,000 and multiply by this. So if you want further year, you can go, you can reduce 600,000 and multiply by 2%. We will see what your answers are. Okay. It is reducing method. Okay, all of your answers are correct. Okay. Then I don't know. We have to go again. So so up to now we discussed. So this is the based depreciation based on the number of unit. Then we can move to disposal of assets. So you already know the journal entries. When we dispose assets, we have to uh, reduce the that value from the assets account. So we credit that value, cost of the assets, and we include it to the special account. We call it as a disposal account. Then depreciation, accumulated depreciation for the disposed assets, we have to again collect to the disposal account. So there's a depreciation account. It's a credit balance, so we debit it and we get this balance to the disposal account credit. Okay. Then selling price, we if we get the cash, we debit the cash account and we credit the disposal account. If we exchange, those values are like that. So there may be a profit or loss. If there is a profit, we enter this to the income statement. So at that time, we debit the disposal account and credit the income statement. If we earn loss, at that time we have to debit the income statement. At that time, we debit amount to the income statement and credit the disposal account. So impairment of assets, to determine whether an asset, item of PPE is impaired, an entity of applies LKAS 36. So the standard explains how an entity reviews the carrying amount of its assets, how it determines the recoverable amount of an asset, and when it recognizes. So reverse the recognition of an impairment loss. So impairment of assets, it is discussed under LKS 36. It is not relevant to you only for I think you have done it. So if not, it is not relevant to you. Then end of the year, you have to do some disclosures. Those are the disclosures regarding the PPE. Measurement bases used for determining the gross carrying amount. What are the measurements you used? Depreciation method used. Useful lifetime and depreciation rates. Gross carrying amount and accumulated depreciation at the beginning and end of the period. So we use some charts and we do this disclosures. Then we did these exercises 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Now we have to do this. Transfer accumulated depreciation and perform revaluation. Gross carrying amount is adjusted in a manner that is consistent with the revaluation of carrying amount. So you have to do this exercise. Here you have to show the accounts, not ledger, not journal entries, accounts. First do your calculations, and after 10 minutes time I will do the exercise with you. Assessed and accumulated depreciation 200,000. So they say that they do the depreciation by 20% of straight line method. So for 500,000, by 20% means that is 100,000 per year. So we have 2 years depreciation here. So they want to 600,000 per assessed. So now we have to increase assessed valuation by 100,000 because they want to keep it is at here. Then this 100,000 to revaluation. So it increased due to revaluation. So when we are evaluation, we have to compensate that amount to the change the amount to the valuation account. So we transfer this here. So now assessed value become as 600,000 end of the year. No depreciation. So we have to depreciate for this amount. Then we got the profit 300,000. Is it okay? This is the thing that you have to do under A answer. To take note. Then I will go to next 1. හරිද පුතා? මෙතනදී අපිට ලක්ෂ 5ක වත්කම් තියෙනවා. අපි අවුරුදු 2ක් ෂය කළා සමුද්‍ර ෂය ගිණුමේ ලක්ෂ 2ක් තියෙනවා බැර ශේෂයක්. අපිට කියනවා වත්කමේ සාධාරණ අගය ලක්ෂ 6 දක්වා අගය කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ වත්කමේ වටිනාකම ලක්ෂ 6ට ගේන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? 5 6 අතර වෙනස ලක්ෂයයි. ඒ ලක්ෂය අපි වත්කමට ඇතුළත් කරලා ඒක අපිට ලැබෙන්නේ කොහෙන්ද? ප්‍රත්‍යග්ගණනයේ තුලින් ප්‍රත්‍යග්ගණ ගිණුමට ගෙනියනවා. ඊළඟට මේ දක්වා කරලා තියෙන සමුච්චිත ෂය ප්‍රත්‍යග්ගණ ගිණුමට මාරු කරනවා. දැන් අපිට ලැබෙනවා ප්‍රත්‍යග්ගණ ලාභයක් ලක්ෂ 3ක්. ඒක අපි ඉන්කම් ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකට ආදායම් ප්‍රකාශනයට මාරු කරනවා ප්‍රත්‍යග්ගණ ලාභ කියලා. එතකොට මේක අවුරුදු 2යි ඒ දෙක තමයි මේ ලක්ෂ 2 විදියට අපි මේ සටහන් කරලා තියෙන්නේ මෙතනට. මම හිතනවා ඒක අමාරු නෑ. It is clear. So ඔගොල්ලෝ ලියා ගන්නවද මොකද? clearද? What about your position? මම හිතනවා ශබ්ද නැති ඉන්න හැමෝටම පැහැදිලි කියලා. So again I have to move new one. For the second one, I have to erase all thing, I think. This method you know, but second method I have doubt whether you know or no, don't know. Okay, in second method, we have to මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ වත්කමේ ධාරණාගය ප්‍රත්‍යග්ගණිත අගයට සමානුපාතිකව වෙනස් කරන්න ඕනේ. Here again we have assessed account as earlier. We have accumulated depreciation account and we have revaluation account. As earlier, there are 500 in beginning, 500,000 in beginning. Depreciation we had 200,000, that is our balances. So according to this method, we have to convert our assets into the carrying cost. ප්‍රත්‍යගණනාගයට සමානුපාතිකව ගෙනෙන්න. එතනදී අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? We have to calculate the ratio. So we have to divide the revaluation amount by carrying amount, that is 300. How we get 300? 500 minus 200, 300. This is 2. So This is a special ratio. And we have to multiply that ratio by existing assessed value. Okay. Now, please. This amount. So we have to adjust here this balance amount. We adjust balance amount to here and we include that into our revaluation amount. Then we again transfer the depreciation, accumulated depreciation to the no, this is wrong. This is not. So here also we have to give this ratio and we have to include 200,000 here and we have to come back evaluation account. This is the method say like that. Now depreciation account end of the year come as a 400,000. Assessed account keep as a 10 million. Then depreciation profit we get 300,000 as earlier. This is our profit. So this is the difference between these two. So profits are equal. Then amounts also carrying cost are equal end of the period, but the methods say likewise. මේක චුට්ටක් පැහැදිලි නැතුව ඇති. මෙතනදි කරන්නේ අපිට වත්කම් ගිණුමේ අපි කරන්නේ මොකද්ද මෙතන වත්කමේ ධාරණ අගය ප්‍රත්‍යග්ගලිත අගයට සමානුපාතිකව වෙනස් කරනවා. ධාරණ අගය ප්‍රත්‍යග්ගලිත අගයට සමානුපාතිකව වෙනස් කරනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපේ ලක්ෂ 6ම තමයි එන්නේ. නමුත් ඒක ප්‍රත්‍යග්ගන අගයට වෙනස් කිරීම නිසා අපේ මුලින්ම තියෙනවා ගිණුමේ වත්කම් ගිණුමේ ලක්ෂ 5ක් සමුච්චිත ෂය වල ලක්ෂ 2ක් අපි මොකද කරන්නේ මේ වත්කම ලක්ෂ 6ට වැඩි කරන්න කියලා. නමුත් මෙතනදී අපි රේෂියෝ එකක් හොයන්න ඕනේ. අපි මෙතනදී මොකද කරන්නේ රිවැලුවේෂන් වැලියු එක. රිවැලුවේෂන් වැලියු එක අපි carrying amount එකෙන් divide කරන්න ඕනේ. කරන අපි ratio එක හොයාගන්න. ඒ ratio එක වැඩි කරනවා අපි දැනට assessed එකේ තියෙන වටිනාකමින් සහ depreciation එකේ තියෙන වටිනාකමින්. එතකොට මේක වටිනාකම වැඩි කරාම අපිට ලක්ෂ මෙතන 10ක් එනවා. මෙතන 4ක් එනවා. ඒත් අපි ඒ adjustment එක කරනවා. එතකොට මෙතන 5 වැඩි වෙන එක අපි valuation account එකට යවනවා. මෙතන දෙකක් අපේ depreciation වැඩි වෙන්න ඕනේ. අපි depreciation account එක බැර කරලා revaluation account එක හර කරනවා. ඒත් මේ adjustment එක කරාම අපිට end of the year assessed ගිණුමේ 10 million තියෙනවා. depreciation එකේ 400,000 තියෙනවා. අපිට profit එකක් ලැබෙනවා මේ විදියට 300,000. මේක එකම ප්‍රතිඵලය එන්නේ අන්තිමට. නමුත් හදන ක්‍රම දෙක වෙනස්. මෙතන මෙන්න මේ රේෂියෝ එක මතක තියාගන්න. ඒ රේෂියෝ එක බොහොම වැදගත්. රේෂියෝ එක බේස් කරගෙන තමයි ගන්නෙ. රේෂියෝ එක කැල්කියුලේට් කරන්නේ revaluation value එක carrying cost එකෙන් බෙදලා. එතකොට මෙතන revaluation value එක ලක්ෂ 6යි carrying cost එක කියන්නේ ශුද්ධාගය. ඒ කියන්නේ assets වලින් depreciation අඩු කරපු අගය අපි මෙතනට ගන්න. එතකොට අපිට ලක්ෂ 2ක කියන එක තමයි එන්නේ. Okay, take note. Then after we can move to next exercises. Yes, this is the next exercise for you. So you can do this exercise. You have to write the journal entries here, and we can discuss later. I will give you 10 minutes time. Only one answer? What about others? So at the examination, within 2 minutes time, you have to answer this kind of questions. Okay, take time and do the exercise. Okay, now go to section 3 and 4. For number 1, so all of you wrote this answer. Machinery and profit and other comprehensive income account, credit and debit likewise. But we have to get the accumulated depreciation for the uh, machinery account as well. So second one, evaluation deficit, other expenses debit 50,000, machinery credit 50,000. Previous one same as it is. In the third one, you have to debit 150,000 for machinery, 50,000 for income statement, then 100,000 credit for comprehensive revaluation reserve account. So you see at the examination, විභාගෙදී හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න, you have to write correct wording and correct amount as well. ඔයගලන්ට වචනයයි amount එකයි දෙකම හරි ගියොත් තමයි ලකුණු ලැබෙන්නේ. ඒ වගේම double entry කියන්නේ entries දෙකම හරියන්න ඕනේ. එකක් හරි ගියා කියලා ලකුණු දෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපි කියමු මේ double entry එකට ලකුණු 4ක් දීලා තිබ්බා කියලා. ඔයා লীලා තියෙන එකයි amount එකයි ඩෙබිට් ක්‍රෙඩිට් දෙකේම හරියන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම වුණොත් තමයි ලකුණු 4 වෙන්නේ. එකක් লীලා තිබුණොත් ලකුණු දෙකක් හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේම වචන විතරක් লীලා තිබ්බොත් ලකුණු හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. amount එක තිබුණොත් ලකුණු හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරියටම double entry එක තිබ්බොත් තමයි අදාළ ලකුණු ප්‍රමාණය දෙන්නේ. So you have to write correct description with correct amount. for both entries, because this marks goes to double entry, not single entry. So be careful when you are writing double entries at the examination. Then next one, likewise, the valuation reserves 50,000 debit, income statement 50,000 debit, and machinery account 100,000 credit. So you can check your answers. So I am not going to check. You can understand what is your mistake here by looking my answers.
Excuse me, madam.
Okay, තුන්වෙනි එක පෙන්නන්න කියලා කියන්නේ. This one.
Madam, තුන්වෙනි ගාන පොඩ්ඩක් හදන විදිය පැහැදිලි කරන්න පුළුවන්ද?
So So I will do it at this next day. So because I have to do the all calculations from beginning. If you have a doubt, I will do the next day. This before start the next session, I will do this exercise. You want to get the clarification for third one? What about fourth one? Is it okay? So we did this one. I think all about these things regarding the PPE in LKAS 16 we have done. So I also uploaded this handout in your LMS. You can see it. Then you can do the, now you know the answers you have discussed with me. So very leisurely do the calculations, then you can realize what are the answers, correct answers. So I hope now we can stop this lesson, because next day we have to discuss about the LKS number 3, it is borrowing cost. So is it okay for you? LKS 16, we have done, we did 9 exercises, all things covered, but in a LKS 23 we will do only few, 2 or 3 exercises. Then you have to do your by your own.